Are you working with an Australian employer, or do you have a job offer from an Australian company and you need to work in Australia with a particular visa? You can potentially be sponsored under a subclass 482 temporary skills in demand work visa. This visa allows your employer to sponsor you on a work visa for up to 4 years, with the potential to extend it beyond that time. After 2 years, you could also potentially qualify for permanent residence if the employer chooses to sponsor you. To qualify for this particular visa, you need to be skilled in an occupation on the skills list or be paid a very high salary. There are two main categories with this visa. One is the core skills list, where if you are skilled and experienced in a particular occupation on a list, you would qualify under this category. Or if you're employed in a skill level 1, 2 or 4 occupation and get paid above $142,000 per year, you could also qualify for this particular visa even if you're not on the skills list. You need to have at least 12 months of experience in your specified occupation, as well as enough skills and experience to qualify for this role, which may be a qualification or 3 to 5 years of experience. You must also meet minimum English language requirements, also health and character checks. You can include your family on this particular visa as well. The employer, if they're going to sponsor you under this particular visa, they will need to be an approved sponsor, which means they are lawfully and actively operating. And then to nominate you, they will also need to advertise the position for at least 4 weeks, pay you a minimum salary, it's at least $76,515 per year, and the salary must also be at a market rate level. That is the same as what an Australian will be paid in that same role. The position must also be genuinely required within the business. For example, probably not going to be a suitable occupation if a hairdressing salon is trying to sponsor a chef. Whereas if you're an accountant in an accounting firm, that would be considered a genuine position. For some occupations, you will need to get a skills assessment as well. The occupations where you do need a skills assessment usually are trade occupations and also program and project administrators, for example. The ones who do need a skills assessment are usually people from certain countries or have certain passports and live within certain trade occupations, such as electricians, plumbers and cooks. For this particular visa, you have to work with the employer who sponsors you. If you decide that you want to change employers, or there's an issue with your employer, or you both decide to terminate your employment mutually, once you finish your employment, you have 6 months to find a new sponsor. During the 6 months, you can actually work unrestricted. This is actually advantageous because it gives the new employer an opportunity to employ you on a probation period to ensure that you're going to be suitable for the role. Provided the employer submits their new nomination application before the 6 months is up, then you can continue working on until that visa is transferred. It's important to note that while this visa pathway does provide you with a permanent residence option, it's still up to the employer to sponsor you for permanent residence, and they may not necessarily do so. Some examples of situations where that may happen is where the employer may only want to sponsor you on a temporary visa and have no permanent residence pathway options. Or if they did discuss sponsoring you for permanent residence at some stage, changes in company finances and situations may change the way the employer feels about that situation. It's important while you hold this visa that you only work with the employer who sponsors you. It's a condition that you can't work for anybody else. However, if you have a partner who is included on the visa, they can work unrestricted, as well as your kids. Your kids will also be able to study. For the duration of this visa, you must also have private health insurance, which is usually your overseas visitor health cover. Some countries, such as the UK and Ireland, have reciprocal benefits with Medicare, and this would also count as relevant health insurance. So if you hold a 482, if your employer doesn't want to sponsor you for residence, and they never will, then you might want to consider finding another company that might decide to sponsor you in the future. And if they do, then they can obviously transfer the visa over to their company, and then you can go through the process. If you want to know more about the permanent residence pathway, I invite you to watch our video about the subclass 186 employer nomination scheme, which would give you more details about the specific pathways to qualify for residence. If you're an employee who is working with a company and they are open to sponsoring you for a work visa, please complete one of our questionnaires through our website and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.